Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. Let's get ready to rumble! Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, Daniel Jacob! And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, Gennady Triple G!
Protect yourself at all times and make it a clean fight. Touch goes now. What about fighting it?
Long way back for Daniel Jacobs.
After rehydrating. And since he blew off that weight,
That little extra where you've got to be very wary of what you're doing.
and he can easily come into this fight at 174.
Well, is there still kind of a
Difficult, dangerous fighter in the world. I mean,
getting into the ring? Even Jacobs has to wonder, what does this guy actually won so much? He's won so impressively. He has some... Now holding the jab out, and vision and power. Does he still have that?
Daniel Jacobs is from Brooklyn. This is a big
First time because he's heard about it. Let's see how he reacts to how he...
Statistically, he can punch. You still got to feel it. Sometimes it's not as...
Now with the jab, Jacobs able to flick out a quick jab, able to use...
That wasn't that bad. Now it's on because I know I can punch just Jacobs.
Facing distance very well. Landing there. Golovkin with the...
Controlled the entire tempo of the fight with the jab.
Get into the pocket.
You can already see Daniel.
Defense comes from his athleticism. He's so agile with his feet.
And that's it.
Back to the right. Start touching him a little bit with the second. Yeah.
A little more feinting in the jab. Even if you touch him here, it's okay.
Stay back. Stay within yourself. Round one.
Was a more assertive fighter.
Shoulder of Golovkin early on, and Jacobs now sliding with the jab, and he slides back to the orthodox style. You see it's a southpaw?
He's powerful from both, and he's athletic. Athleticism makes him get away with the power on both southpaw stands. Absolutely.
To your point,
Strong and athletic. He's very agile. Abel Sanchez.
Damaging. It is dictating the pace.
Golovkin's trainer wants him to feint. That's very interesting. Similar things happening here. Golovkin has to the speed of Daniel Jacobs. Big counter
Jab from Jacobs and the movement. As
Paul, he got right back to the middle of the ring. The last thing competitive and keeping Golovkin on his toes with those counters.
There he is, Golovkin, but able to present.
They're in Jacobs' corner. They like what they're seeing. Say,
Jake.
Aim that jab at his chest and then at his solar plexus.
Okay.
Three, Brian Kenny with Sergio Mora and Chris Manick.
nothing for Gennady Golovkin. It's not that Golovkin's landing.
they told Jacobs, stay rhythmic. You don't have to run, but you can walk. Not winning these early rounds as expected.
He's disagree with you, Chris. You can easily score that for Golovkin.
With precision and timing, and that's what makes him so lethal. See, Jake athletic and fast and everything, but he's brutish.
As I mentioned, long road back for Jacobs. Had an easy knockout win. Cried after the fight. Emotion
To the body, and I like seeing that, the jab going upstairs and downstairs. Clinch. I also love seeing that from a challenger.
And Daniel Jacobs with a chance of a lifetime. Good jab. We've had these discussions. Good right hand, and down goes Jacobs. There is the power. And a good jab right is subtle. You might not see it, but you feel it in the way. Sergio, as you said earlier, it is sometime.
We mentioned the first time Daniel Jacobs.
And get on. He's still clear-eyed. He's still in this fight. He knows that.
That was the first time he felt Gennady's power.
And enough.
In Jacobs' corner, yelling at his man, walk. And by that, he means.
And aggressive in this round.
And he has his hands up. He's not moving anymore.
And you're right, Sergio, as we see it.
Out of it, you realize you can take it. Jacobs is in front of him, hands up, ready.
Hook and a right hand from Golovkin, right in front of Golovkin. A little less movement now. Jacobs, Gennady Golovkin with the knockdown in round 4.
Don't wait for him. That was totally unnecessary.
Round 5 here in New York City. We're at Madison. Relax. You know, let it come to you.
Well, I love the advice from Rozier, and they want him to walk Jacobs back with the jetty and throw the jab upstairs as well.
And as I say, has he taken a round yet, Chris?
I gave him the third round.
Lead left hand there by Jacobs, lunging in there.
Good body.
Golovkin. The jab is sharp. Now Jacobs.
As we saw against David Lemieux, that piston rod jab of the fight. Jacobs can't allow that punch consistently land.
Lead right. There wasn't the first time around.
Lot of Golovkin coming forward. There's some problems the later the fight goes. Pushing off slightly because Golovkin probably...
He will walk through you if you don't throw something back. As we have fought 5 rounds here at the Garden.
Okay, very good. To the body a little bit. He don't like the body shots.
These rounds, win it round by round. Way.
Could, but I thought Golovkin was the far busier fighter.
I wonder if that's the case. Again, you could make a case that many of these rounds...
Even though he probably didn't win the card...
There by Jacobs. Able to land there and foul.
In my opinion, I think he did really well to close it off.
There by Jacobs. Now Golovkin.
So buy some time, either if you want to give your opponent a different look.
And maybe he believes that it leads to more success even in
You have to take some chances here. And Jacobs is opening up. I could see
it's back to right-handed, which he did right there. Good body shot.
And he headhunted in this fight.
And Golovkin cut a good welterweight, decent at 150.
Downstairs and control the tempo of the fight.
Putting up a very good fight. We have seen Golovkin.
And I love the demeanor of Andre Rozier in that corner.
Round 6 for Daniel Jacobs. He was effective there. Good body work.
You do love a good word from Sergio.
Yes, I do. Confident Jacobs is now. Look, he's fighting from that southpaw stance.
Your opponent.
Golovkin, I think, has gotten a little bit too happy. Head
Of the fight
10
game.
seconds to the bell. Okay, no punch, no punch.
Drop your opponent so early in the fight, and that's why I think
Champion. Golovkin acknowledges that after the bell, but a spirited
more
round.
athletic fighters is forcing Golovkin to fight long enough to get those consistent jabs. He's getting in Jacobs' fight.
A while. When you watch Golovkin fight, Golovkin has steamrolled through 154 pounds.
Upstairs and downstairs, just like he did right there. Beautiful body work right there by Jacobs. Take the wind out of you, the wind out of your sails. Total control behind that jab.
Good right hand by Golovkin.
Because Jacobs having a little success fighting the inside, but
And boxing, a good jab. Final 10 second here in round 8. Another jab by Golovkin. Jacobs is at the very least back in this fight. How do you have it
One
on?
thing that's more noticeable in this fight than the previous Golovkin fights.
Their Garden, New York City. Gennady Golovkin. Good uppercut.
he's been jabbing some really good shots that have gotten close enough to land those uppercuts. Stand so much because of Golovkin's pressure. He's forcing. And if you notice, Golovkin has...
In an effort to be more offensive oriented, Jacobs has dropped.
Yes, like he did right there.
Little giddy up at the step there from Guy. There's the lead uppercut. He opens up with the jab. Chris Mannix had to score that. And that fight, that punch has come to the fore.
I noticed when Jacobs went to the body, the first thing that Golovkin...
Take many shots to begin with. Their defense is tight.
Julio Cesar Chavez, you never know when they're hurt because they're so...
Now in round 10, Daniel Jacobs able to answer.
Hunting Golovkin did after that knockdown. So did he invest enough to the body? So yes, but the more athletic, rangier fighter is...
Looks like there's been a little bit of steam taken off Danny Jacobs. He's still...
Right here, Jacobs is holding his own with body shots and jabs up. So that clinch, reaches out to clinch. It's Golovkin in my... Good body shots there right there.
In front of your man, even when you're in the 11th round. Good combination. Fight boxing. And some of these round perfect science, figuring out who's winning these rounds.
Now that's what matters. That's what stands out. This fight, in my opinion, it's going to be difficult to score.
Rarely looks hurt, rarely looks phased, but there's a straight right hand. Throws and throwing combinations, not one punch at a time. You shouldn't have to do more than just the established champ in this fight.
After going 12 rounds with a monster like Golovkin.
The miracle.
Still undefeated and still triple